Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make custom bases for my cars. As you can see here, I have this Chevy. I made this a long time ago. So basically do this with brass. This one is copper, but you know, it all works about the same way. This trailer I made with also brass. I use that brass tubing that I use for making my custom axles. I leave a link up here somewhere to that video. So basically there's a few ways how you can do this. As you can see on this one, when I designed the base, I designed it so I could fold it up, make the hole for the axle tubing. Let's see if you can see it. On this one, it's a little bit different. I don't have the same space, so I just make the base and the wheels. This is the first one I made, by the way. The wheels are attached to the base. With this one, with this casting, you have a problem that the front grille is part of the base, so you basically have to cut it off somewhere around here and glue it to the base. So if you're switching paint, make sure you switch paint before gluing that to the casting. And let me show you how I make them. Move this to the side. So I want to make a base for the VW bus. If you're following me on Instagram, you saw how I made the custom bumpers, and you saw that the original base for this was kind of ugly, orange. The bumpers were exaggerated. This is a Matchbox casting, by the way. So I first start with cardstock. That's how you pronounce it, I think. So everything I use on this video, I'm gonna leave a link on the video description in case you want to check it out. So I just put it here, use a pen or a pencil, trace it out. Then I figure about this distance will be good enough to stay within the bumpers, you know, inside the casting. Then you cut it. And by the way, with this casting, it only had one rivet. The original rivet, the original base was they hooked up to the back here, right? So this is where the wheel donors come in place. As you can see, I cut out the post here. I cut it to shape. It was about the same size as this, and then I used 2-part epoxy and I glue it down there. It gives me a perfect space or spot to mount the base. So alright, so you got the drawing made, you cut it. So you cut it up, you're probably gonna end up with something like this. And you know, you measure it, you play with it, and you basically modify it. So as you can see, I made quite a few of them just to make sure, you know, that I had enough wheel space for the tires. And then you basically, what I use is brush sheets. I'm gonna leave a link to this one specifically. You could go a little bit thicker, but then it's gonna be a lot harder to cut. So basically, you do the same thing. You would once you're happy with one of your models here, just put it here and trace it with a pencil, right? And all you got to do is, you know, scissor. This is thicker than like aluminum can, but you know, you still cut it with a scissor. It makes it a lot easier. And you cut it to shape. Basically, you're gonna end up with something like this. Now, you can use the scissors to go around, but here on the little corners, I find it to be easier to use my Dremel. So basically, once you have that cut it ready, it's not gonna be perfect, but you know, you gotta test fit it. There you go. So now you basically have to come up with a way on how to hold the axle. Again, you could cut one of these pieces, fold it up, drill a hole. That's going to be a little, you know, kind of complicated, but it works. You could solder this because this is brass. You could, you know, you could solder it. That's how I did this. You know, it's brass with the brass tubing, and I just solder it all around, then painted it. If you don't want to use glue or two-part epoxy. So basically that's all you do. So you know, the easiest way I find it is like get a plastic base that you're not going to use, and basically cut out the part where the axle is, and you know, play with it. You could either go both ways with this. You could glue it to the base, right? Let me show you. You could cut it, grind it down, basically glue it to the base, but that means that the wheel is going to be very flush. The car is going to be very low. Or you could basically mount it backwards, and whatever interiors you have, glue it to that, and that way it's only going to be covering all the mechanism. That's how this one is done. This is not holding the wheels. The wheels are in place with something else. I'm currently working on one, so you can basically see what needs to be done on this casting. Yes, I have to drill through the truck bed because, as you can see, I have to flush this, make this flush in order to achieve a very like baggy look. As you can see, originally it doesn't have enough space to really tuck that tire in there. If you go at it a little bit, you know, I like that look a lot better. I don't like that rim, but this is the Mazda Rebel wheel. But look at the difference. It looks a lot different. Like I said before, on this casting, you have to cut. I moved the camera. I have to cut the front grille and glue it separately. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Peace out to the next video.